before we get into this story, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more real-life stories that hit hard. I always believed honesty was the backbone of my marriage. For 10 years, I trusted my wife, Rachel, with a kind of blind faith I didn't even extend to myself. She was warm, articulate, the type of woman who could walk into a room and make everyone feel noticed. I was quieter, more reserved. I ran a small logistics company, and she worked in marketing for a big tech firm downtown. One evening, while we were cooking dinner, she mentioned her company's annual networking gala. "It's kind of a big deal this year," she said casually. "Spouses aren't required, but a lot of people bring plus ones. You'd probably be bored, though. It's all business chatter and awkward laughter." I smiled, stirred the sauce, and brushed it off. "If you'd rather go alone, that's fine." She nodded too quickly. "Yeah, I think that's better. You'd be bored out of your mind." At the time, I didn't notice the subtle stiffness in her voice or how she avoided my eyes. Love has a way of dulling your instincts. 2 weeks later, my business partner, Mark, mentioned he'd been invited to the same gala by one of our clients. "You should come," he said. "It's great for networking. Half the tech scene will be there." I hadn't thought about Rachel at first, but then the idea struck me. Maybe I could surprise her. Maybe it would be fun to see her in her professional world, doing what she loved. I didn't tell her I'd be coming. I just showed up. The event was at a high-end downtown hotel, the kind with golden lighting and champagne that tasted like money. I wore my best navy suit, the one Rachel said made me look like I actually had my life together. When I entered, the room buzzed with conversation, clinking glasses and polite laughter bouncing off marble floors. I scanned the crowd, expecting to see her with colleagues. And then I saw her, Rachel, by the buffet table, laughing too loudly at something a tall man in a gray suit had said. At first, it didn't bother me. Then she touched his arm. Familiar, intimate, the kind of touch that used to be mine. I moved closer, careful not to draw attention. The man turned slightly. Young, confident, polished. The kind who thinks rules are for everyone else. I waited until Rachel noticed me. Her expression faltered for a second, a flash of shock before she forced a smile. "Ethan, what are you doing here?" she asked. I returned her smile, calm. "Didn't I tell you Mark got us in through a client?" I turned to the man beside her. "And you must be—" He extended his hand, face pale. "I'm David. I work with Rachel." "Ah," I said. "Coworker David. Nice to meet you." Rachel's voice tightened. "Ethan, I didn't expect you to come. I thought you had meetings tonight." I shrugged, got canceled, figured I'd surprise you. David cleared his throat, nearly spilling his drink. "I just remembered I need to check something with my manager." He excused himself so quickly it was obvious he was uncomfortable. Rachel stared at me, jaw stiff. That was unnecessary. I tilted my head. What was unnecessary exactly? She crossed her arms. "You're being paranoid." "Maybe," I said. "But if he's just a co-worker, why does he act like he knows more about me than he should?" The rest of the evening blurred. Strange smiles, clip sentences. Rachel stayed glued to her phone. I worked the room. But every time I glanced over, she was gone or standing too close to someone else. I didn't confront her that night. Silence often tells more than shouting ever could. The next morning, she left early, claiming a strategy meeting. I knew it was a lie. I checked her location, not out of jealousy, but because deep down, I already suspected the truth. She wasn't at the office. She was at a cafe 3 blocks away, sitting across from David. I parked down the street and watched. She leaned forward, whispering something that made him shake his head, panic written across his face. Then she reached for his hand. That was it. I was done. That night, Rachel came home to find me at the kitchen table. 2 cups of coffee, one for each of us. She looked startled. "You're home early?" "Yeah," I said. "Wanted to talk." Her voice trembled. "About what?" I didn't answer. She didn't have to. Her silence said it all. "I'm not angry," I said softly. "Just curious. How long has this been going on?" She started crying, muttering about confusion. about how I'd been distant. The usual script. I listened until I couldn't anymore. Then I stood. You made your choice, Rachel. I'm just catching up to it. I didn't yell. I didn't slam doors. I just walked out. A week later, I ran into David. Pure coincidence. At a client meeting downtown. He froze, like he expected a punch. I didn't give him one. I smiled. Relax. I'm not here to ruin your career. He swallowed hard. I didn't know she was married, not until that night. I believed him, maybe because he looked as hollowed out as I felt. Before leaving, I said one last thing. You know the funny part? You probably thought you were stealing someone else's happiness. But what you really took was her last excuse for being miserable. He didn't respond. Didn't need to. His face said enough. 6 months later, I've moved on. Sold a house. Started over in a smaller apartment near my office. I don't check her social media. I don't wonder who she's with. The truth is, I didn't lose a wife that night. I lost a version of myself that kept mistaking loyalty for love. And in the end, that loss was my real freedom. Moral: sometimes the best revenge isn't anger. It's showing them that peace looks better on you than guilt ever could.